And you want me to sit in my seat and stand idly by and allow this craziness to happen?
Big nasty sloppy heifer. All this hollering and screaming. You know, I feel bad I had to play this clip for the family. I'm sorry, family. I didn't mean to play this clip. I apologize. This big nasty scamming heifer. This big criminal crook. They need to put this big heifer in handcuffs and walk this big heifer out live on television. I tell you.
You can come after me if you want, but you elected me to stand up. You elected me to use the law.
The guiltiest ones sound just like this big heifer. You see how these Democrats got something in common? Yeah, you see how they all come out screaming to the top of their lungs at the podium. They all got something in common.
You elected me to go to court. You elected me to continue to challenge this administration. You elected me to stand up for the least of God's children.
Then they use God name. I tell you. And look at the Reverend. Look at Al Sharpton, that criminal crook. He still think Martin Luther King is alive. That they still marching down there in Alabama. I tell you.
Want to really see something that said, take a look at what happened.
Hey. Why this beat so cold?
We will make America proud again. And you try to kill our We will make America wealthy again. And yes, together, we will make America great again.
Well, boy, oh boy, this big sloppy heifer here, Big Tish, still walking around free and smiling, screaming to the top of her lungs. And now there's some new reports, somebody fled or something. We just not getting some updates. So I'm just on the show doing a little update. I seen some sources post some things about Miss James, Big Tish. And I said, oh, this is going to be good. This is going to be good, you know. But if you look all over the internet, they posting all kind of things. And she was busted again over a $200,000 mortgage allegations, facing 15 to 30 years. And we have some more documents released. It says Karma. Letitia James is looking like a serial criminal that has committed mortgage fraud on multiple occasions. She misrepresented her 5-unit Brooklyn house as a single-family home, all to secure better loan terms. Isn't the same kind of crime that she went after Trump for? Yeah. And yeah, they got these bad boys all over the internet, social media. Whew. Yeah. You just can't make this up. But Letitia James busted again. Reports show that in 2021, she misrepresented her 5-unit Brooklyn property as a single-family home to get a $200,000 line of credit from Citizens Bank. Oh man, you just can't make this up. Working commercial loan rates and fees. The move could fall under New York penal law. Mortgage fraud over $50,000. The second-degree mortgage fraud, a Class C felony carrying up to 15 years behind bars. Put this big heifer in jail. Big, nasty, sloppy heifer. Been screaming to the top of her lungs. And I'm getting sick of seeing her butt. I really am. The next time I see her is live on television with her hands behind her back. You know, how is this big, nasty heifer still free? You know, they got all this stuff posted all over the internet. You know, you just can't make this up. But this is that update I wanted to get into. She has fled. Letitia James hits panic button as police mobilize to serve justice. Let's check this out from Explain America.
This is your host, Kyle Becker. New York Attorney General Letitia James is in legal hot water. We have been covering the story at Explain America about how she falsely claimed a residence in Virginia was her primary residence. And the person who had been staying at this home, well, they're also in legal hot water, and this is absolutely jaw-dropping because it could potentially increase the prison time for Attorney General James to up to 5 years. And this person she is harboring is a fugitive from the law. And you're not going to believe who it is. But before we get into this story, now, there is a big development in the case of the Letitia James scandal. Of course, we are following the mortgage fraud accusations that she is now facing. She is implicated in a crime that could potentially net her up to 5 more years.
Oh, hell. You just can't make this up. Like I tell y'all, man, it just be again, let everything play out. Watch these next couple of weeks, months, these next 2 years. Watch how so many people get caught up and exposed. You know, you see that. I think her auntie, grandniece, cousin-in-law, Miss Lisa Cook, that federal governor Democrat, they finna walk out. You know, she over the interest rates, and she got more. Over the decision making of interest rates, and she got fraud. You just can't make this up, man. But nothing new with Democrats. As they scream to the top of their lungs and blame the president that he did this, he did that, he's the convicted felon, he did this, you know. But come to find out, they did it. They were the dirty ones. That's why I get pissed. That's why I gave her some nicknames. That's why I call her Big Nasty Sloppy Heifer. Yeah. Hey, I'm sorry, y'all. I just, I got to be real. They want to be nasty. We get dirtier.
In jail, if convicted. We've been reporting for some time that she has engaged in mortgage fraud, according to accusations by the Department of Justice. And she is really looking like that she could go down in New York in her bid for re-election. So one of the things that has come out in this scandal is that she could be harboring a fugitive from the law. That's right. According to recent documents obtained and published by the Gateway Pundit, Letitia James's niece has a daughter named Nikia Monique Thompson. And according to the North Carolina Department of Adult Correction, Thompson remains wanted by law enforcement that is actively searching for her. Now, this Nikia Monique Thompson, birds of a feather flock together. She has a criminal record spanning 20 years in the states of Virginia and North Carolina. That includes multiple convictions for contributing to the delinquency of a minor, abuse of a child, possession of burglary tools, third-degree larceny, assault and battery, trespassing, shoplifting, resisting arrest, disorderly conduct,
rap sheet,
possession of marijuana,
we know,
driving with a suspended license, and even malicious conduct while incarcerated. And this story was recently highlighted by Donald Trump on his Truth Social platform. So what is the upshot of this? Well, it looks like Letitia James is an absolute hypocrite for being a close associate of a wanted criminal that she apparently is harboring in one of her residences. And that is according to the report that just came out. And one of the things about this is that she is the state's highest law enforcement official in New York. And she has made it a vendetta to go after Donald Trump, to hold him accountable for imaginary crimes with no victims, bringing just absolutely weaponized cases against him, lawfare, election interference. So this family member appears to be not much different than Attorney General Letitia James herself, because how close are Letitia James and Nikia Monique Thompson? On Thompson's LinkedIn page, she writes, "Been working with Miss James for years, from council member to public advocate to attorney general." So she is in even more hot water than we thought, in addition to the accusations of mortgage fraud, which are pretty convincing. So we'll have to see how justice eventually gets delivered to this person instead of us simply reporting the facts, because it is pretty clear that she is at least in cahoots with criminal elements. And, the time for talk in the Justice Department is over. She needs to be held before a grand jury. She needs to get prosecuted, and we need to get the show on the road with this.
Yeah, they need to walk that heifer out, man. That's all we've been waiting on. We want Letitia James in jail, period. She's a wicked person and has no right to remain free. She's a host of crimes to pay for, and I hope she goes to prison for a very long time. If any of us pulled this stunt, we would already be in jail. So sick of these people. She's a liar. Criminal, lock her up. She should be fired and disbarred. Lock her up, damn it. Rich people get no accountability. Get her in jail. She is overdue. She needs to be arrested immediately and all her property seized, along with a $400 million fine that she must pay within 5 days. Amen to that. She is so evil. Why hasn't she been arrested? You know, I'm telling you, we all waiting for that big heifer to be walked out with her hands behind her back. I'm waiting for it. You know, that's one thing it'll make people's day. People would celebrate, get off work early, throw a party, you know, throw a little event at the house. If they seen that heifer and many others walked out with their hands behind their back, I'm saying we would celebrate. Yeah, we want accountability, you know. And what really kills me, they got all the evidence, the fraud and everything posted all over the internet. They got all kind of documents all over social media, you know. But hey, what do y'all think? Let me know in the comment section. I love y'all. God bless you and your family, and I'll catch y'all on the next one. Peace and love, you guys.